The Ghost by the Railroad. In Birmingham, Alabama, the ground keeps secrets that do not rot. Beneath the concrete, beneath the tracks, there are souls that still do not rest. And one of them still walks on cold nights. On July 16, 2021, police found the remains of a man buried behind an old textile factory. He had been beaten to death. No name, no face, only a blue shirt that read American Valve and Hydrant, Beaumont, Texas, 1997 Safety Award. No one knew who he was until he started to appear again. Detectives called him John Doe 2007, but in the abandoned factory, the neighbors gave him another name, the Man of the Award, because of the shirt that said Safety Award. An award for safety. How ironic. One of the officers swore that the watch he wore was still ticking, 3:17 a.m., the exact time the train passed in front of the place where he was buried. That same night, the officer dreamed of a man covered in dust and blood, walking along the rails, with hollow eyes and a watch glowing like a dead moon. "I didn't finish my journey," the voice whispered in the dream. Two men called 911. They said they were the killers. They wanted to cleanse their consciences. They confessed that years ago they met the man on a freight train coming from Texas. They argued about money. They beat him, and they buried him behind the factory, thinking that forgetfulness would be his grave. But 3 days after confessing, one of them was found dead. His body lay beside the tracks, his skull shattered. Police thought it was a train accident, but there was something else. A watch in his pocket, identical to the dead man's. One night, a railway worker reported seeing someone on the tracks. He said the figure wore old, stained clothes and dragged a shovel as he walked, that his eyes glowed as if molten metal burned inside. When the train passed, the figure didn't move. The engineer slammed on the brakes, but there was no one there. Only a puddle of dirty water and a watch still marking 3:17 a.m. The textile building still stands, rusty, covered in graffiti, but the neighbors say they hear things inside, bangs, breathing, and sometimes dragging footsteps behind the walls. One night, a group of young people went in to record a video. They found the floor torn open, as if someone had clawed their way out. In the center of the hole, there was a note written in charcoal. "I remember the train. I remember your faces." The second killer began having visions. He saw a man standing in front of his house under the rain, wearing a soaked blue shirt. Each night, he was closer. At dawn, the neighbors heard screams. When police arrived, they found the door open and the body in the hallway, eyes wide open, and the dead man's watch tied to his wrist. The time, 3:17 a.m. The lead investigator wrote in his report, "No evidence of third-party involvement was found in the later deaths, but the watches always show the same time." A week later, the detective disappeared. His car was found beside the railroad tracks. In the driver's seat, there were broken glasses and a blood-stained note written in, "He's still riding the train."